This is a microphone test. I am testing the microphone.
This is not a microphone test. I am not testing the microphone.
Yes, it is a microphone test. turn on our microphones, and then we're gonna start streaming as soon as I figure out some stuff. We are back, baby. We're streaming. We're doing it. We're live. Hello. Welcome to episode 19 of Barely a Destiny Show. I am your glorious host returning from his long stretch away, DetBenMalone. With me as always, I've got Xanafan711. How you doing, Steve?
Good. How you doing?
Fantastic. So happy to be back. Very happy to be back. Feels good. Feels right.
I'm glad you're back. I did not have very much fun. That's okay. All you, man. That's all you. It was fun, but it was a lot. It was a lot, man, that you have to do. So, applause to Ben for doing this every week.
Oh, but, thank you.
Seriously.
I am the best.
Like no one ever was.
Bam, bam, bam. And we've also got Slapshot Scott in the building. Whoop whoop. How you doing?
Doing good, guys. Doing good. Like I said to you guys earlier, this week's been kind of crazy for me. I haven't actually been able to play much Iron Banner. Basically, I've been doing a lot of manual labor, helping my mom move and stuff. So it's good to have you back, Ben. And Steve, nice shirt, by the way.
Yeah, he's got that Age of Triumph.
By the way, it's really comfortable. It's super soft.
Nice.
So, yeah, it feels nice.
By the way, your screen looks like you're in a Snoop Dogg concert because that vape.
Clouds, bro, clouds. That was so bad.
Oh, gosh. So, I played some Destiny this week. I actually played a lot. I played a lot Friday and a lot last night. I played on Friday night, jumped in with Des Raven from RNG Cast, and it was really cool because all night we just kind of had like a rotating cast of people that were coming and going. Just, I don't know. We had a lot. I played with a lot of people. We just played Banner all night. I went from rank 0 to 5. And then for the majority of it, it was me, Raven, JC Jesse, and our buddy Narwolf on PlayStation.
Oh, shit. He got a PlayStation?
Yeah, but it's not Narwolf.
Oh, it's something else on.
Yeah. And I felt like such a dick because like I know him by Narwolf. And I'm talking to Justin.
This guy.
I was like, I'm talking to Justin, and I was like, you know what, man? I was like, I'm kind of pissed because our buddy Narwolf got a PlayStation, and he told me he wasn't going to get Destiny. He's just going to get Destiny 2. And I was like, that's cool. And then I'm in your guys' LFG, and I see him looking for people to play with in the PS4 LFG. And I was like, what the heck is up with that? Didn't know I'm playing with him.
Actively playing with him. Yeah, I'm apparently friends with him too, and didn't even realize it. There is a shout out to his actual alias though.
Yeah.
In his gamer tag.
But nice. I was just like, oh my god, I feel so stupid. And then I was just like, oh, hey man, what's up? No, but it's all in good fun. And then we were gonna have Jay Howard on this week, but unfortunately his daughter is sick, so we're gonna have him on a different time. But I did get to play with him last night, and I said that I would give a shout out to Molder and Hellcat. We tried to play some trials last night, and I think we went 1-5 on the first match. So
that's me in trials every time, but I don't get to the 1. It's usually 0-5.
Hey, I got a double down in it though, and that was sick.
Yeah. What's the map?
Nice.
It's rotating.
Really?
Oh shit, they're rotating it? I missed that.
That's what I heard. I don't know because we only played the first match, but Molder's like, oh yeah, it's rotating. And after that first match, we're like, no, never mind. So what'd you guys do in Destiny this week?
I played a lot of Iron Banner, but I also did a bunch of housekeeping in Destiny. So I got my Crucible map ghosts, and I just started collecting a bunch of the other ghosts. I did my banner stuff, and I'm currently working on the chaperone quest. And fuck that quest.
Oh,
I really want that
Oh my
gun.
god.
Maybe I'll
Yeah.
start
I
it so we
want
can
it
do it
so
together.
bad. So I've been doing it in banner because why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? I'm just not going for my crests. And last night I got up to 51% with the
Oh
last
no.
word. And
Did
and
you?
then I was like, all right, well, I'm going to take a break and play with some listeners, actually. So here's my shout out to Shenanigans, Chunky Waffles, RPP, and Emergency. Did some private matches, did a little bit of banner, and kind of forgot that I had that quest going. And I got back on this morning, and I was at 26%.
Oh.
It's like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh. So no
That
good
sucks.
there. But I'm back. I'm up to, after playing some this morning, 57, I think. So we're getting there. Just slow.
That is a tough quest. I played it and I got up to like 5% one time. I was super stoked. I'm like, yes, this is awesome. And then I lost a bunch of rounds and got murdered, and it went back down to 0. I'm like, fuck this quest.
The hardest part is that you have to do it with the last word equipped.
Yeah.
Somebody hop on Scott's account and get him a chaperone.
Well, what my plan was last time it was Iron Banner Mayhem. I'm like, there's going to be a bunch of people who don't usually play PvP on, and it's Mayhem, and you don't have to get kills with the last word, just with it equipped. So my plan was to go in there and just hammer everybody in the face with my Sunbreaker and like jump it up to whatever percentage I could, just with the last word equipped.
Yeah.
Didn't really work out. In case you guys,
No, you weren't a golden gun, so why would
Yeah.
that work?
You would have had
Well-
to like go hammers, use it, kill a bunch of people, and then go hide until you get hammers again, and then just repeat.
yeah, that was.
But it's
that
hard
was
to
the
do
plan.
in Mayhem.
And every time I went to hide, somebody was like, "Surprise!"
Surprise,
Oh,
golden gun.
Yeah, exactly. There was golden guns everywhere, which is kind of hilarious. I tried. Actually, I didn't get to talk about this. Last week, I think it was Mayhem Rumble was the weekly, I think, right?
Yeah.
And so I went with, just for funsies, I went with what I call my super meta Scumlord loadout, which is a golden gun hunter with palindrome and icebreaker.
Nice.
I didn't do well, but it was so fun. I'm like, I can't believe like I've never tried this before. This loadout is legitimately fun. I know why people use it now. Like some people are just like, meta scumlords. Like if I use this gun, I will win, and it's not necessarily the case always. Obviously, I mean I'm a prime example of that. But I had a blast, man. I actually got a couple icebreaker kills, which I don't ever use snipers in PvP. And Jesus Christ,
fun, though.
I forgot how good that palindrome was.
Oh yeah,
It's so awesome.
I had a love affair with hand cannons this weekend because I'm pretty trash with them, and I got into this zone where I was like not paying attention, so all my shots I was lining them up real slow, and just getting headshots like crazy. I was just like, wow. So my problem the whole time has been spamming the trigger. If you just try and shoot people in the head, they're fucking incredible. So I've played with palindrome and got my Crucible Quartermaster bounty done with that. And then I flipped to my Warlock, and I was playing with Hawkmoon, and I just fucking love... I've never played with Hawkmoon until this weekend. I've had it forever. I just never used it. Oh my god, it's so fun.
Hawkmoon's great. I fell in love with Parthian Shot from like 2 or 3 weeks ago this week.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
That gun is so nice. So
if you can... I said this before, and I didn't actually know this until... Murkachakura, I think is how you say his name. Merc from the DGS Ghost Stories Discord. We were talking about that. He told me, he's like, Parthian Shot can 2-tap, but you have to hit all 6 shots at the head.
Yes.
And there was a couple times. Yeah, there was a couple times I managed to do that on some map, and it was like cross map. Dude wasn't.
It's got range, so much range.
Oh, it's stupid. It's so funny. Pulse rifles are so broken because there's like very little damage drop off. If anything, if you get a good one, you can map somebody with it. Like Parthian Shot with some stability perks, you can 2-tap from across the map. It's a fucking laser beam.
I've also been using the Vision of Confluence a lot.
Ooh, that's
Dude, it's like I was just in that same zone, just like laid back chilling, being like, you know what, bro? Japan, just across the map, having so much fun, especially in Supremacy, because I'm like, if I see somebody, I'll pull out the Wormwood.
Right. Which I started using. I finally was like, all right, I'm just going to try sidearms. I've been hating on sidearms. I'm just going to try it. And it's fucking stupid. Wormwood is stupid. It should not be as good as it is, but I'm going to use it because it's that good. Why not? And I actually went, I got my first Reign of Terror with Parthian Shot and Wormwood.
He did. I saw the video.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It was a good mix of good kills
later,
and
so.
lucky getaways.
Yeah.
I will say, man, there are some, like, Wormwood is definitely, like I said, I don't know what it was, because I think I mentioned this before. I have an Iron Wreath that I use, and I loved it until I got a Wormwood, and I'm like, this gun is just stupid. Like, it's insane how quick you can burn somebody, because I was being an idiot. I was running around with, like, I don't even remember. It was some, like, high-impact scout rifle that I wanted to just fuck around with in PvP for a weekly, and Wormwood. I think it might have been the Gunsmith Casitas I got with Triple Tap and Fireflux. I'm like, I need to level this thing up. So, like, and I knew it wasn't going to work, but I'm just like, whatever. So I'm like fucking around late one night, and I'm just getting people who will see me with the scout and they rush me or whatever. So I pull out the worm and it's like, tick, done. Yeah. And I did it like 3 times in a row. I'm like, holy crap! Like, there's no reason this gun should be that good, and it's not even a good roll. It's like a garbage roll. But
yeah, Wormwood's always good.
Me and Ben both have the Wormwood.
Yeah, we have the vendor Wormwood.
Nice.
The one with high cal and hidden hand.
Yeah, I don't have. The one that I got has high cal and I think hidden hand, but it's got something. It wasn't the vendor one. I got it to drop on a week where the vendor roll was something else.
Yeah.
So it was super funny, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then of course, because it's Supremacy, and I love Supremacy. It's some of the most fun I have in Iron Banner. One of my favorite like fun time game modes.
Yeah.
In other than like Mayhem, I pulled out my Matador, and I've been running my Matador around. And just popping people with that. And it's super funny when you get a kill with that, because people see it and they're like, fucking shotguns aren't the meta. And you're like, well, you just got dropped by one. And it's rubbed behind the fucking trick. So,
I mean,
ball game.
Shotguns are still good.
Yeah.
It's a little bit harder to use them, and I like it. I like where shotguns are sitting.
It's interesting because, like, if you listen to Planet Destiny and a couple other places like Fallout, Bones from Crucible Radio, they talked about it. They're like, shotguns are still really good, and but it's not like you have to use them differently. It's not like you can just run around spamming them anymore. You have to like play defensively with them.
Yeah,
so,
I
like,
love
it's not an easy button.
Bait somebody into it, and then when they like rush you, you just whip out the shotgun and blast them, and it's just that violent like pow, done. And you get the little like ring, and you're like, ha ha, that was awesome.
My new thing has been so obviously if you see somebody round the corner with a shotgun and they stay on your radar, they're just waiting for you. Mm-hmm. So what I've been doing is I'll wait till like the very last second and then be like, okay, now I'm gonna round the corner on you.
Good on you for
noticing
mind
guns.
There's so many people who just like, and that's the thing. Like if you listen to a lot of Crucible Radio, they talk about like shotgun warrioring and the like proper way to do it, the skilled way to do it, whatever you want to call it. And it's like a dance. You know, Birds always talks about the dance, the shotgun dance, and it's so funny because people just don't pay attention. They just run forward and spam the trigger and trying. Like there was one time in Trials that it was on Widow's Court, and you know the upstairs, the little upstairs building.
Yeah.
I lured not one but 2 people. I baited them into a shotgun, like basically popped off a couple shots with, I think it was a pulse. I think I was using Parthian shot. So I popped off a few shots and they started charging me. It was 2 warlocks. So I backed around the corner and I'm like, I'm so fucked. Like they saw me, there's 2 of them. It's a 2v1. I'm so fucked. And so like I booked it back around the corner and I'm just waiting there with my Matador out going, I hope this fucking works because this is all I got. So I stick either one of them with Fusion on my Sunbreaker. He books by me, blows up. His buddy, who's like right on his ass crack, like the dude was, they were like right together,
which is a bad move anyways. Sees him blow up, sees the grenade hit him, doesn't even turn to look to see where it came from, and I just pop him and he's done. I was like, how the fuck? Like, they had to be really bad players because they fell for that fucking trick. And I make it a point every time. I'm like, I'm no PvP god. I don't even do well in PvP. So if you fall for some bullshit like that from me, that's on you. That's not me.
Shotgun charging is way more complicated than people think too. You have to be zigzagging hard. Absolutely. And duck and covering the whole time.
There was a really, really good Massive Breakdowns episode. I'm looking it up right now.
I know what you're talking about.
Episode 43, Bad PvP Habits with Famous Birds.
Yeah, it was a good one.
I think the biggest thing I took out of that entire thing was don't chase.
Yup.
Yes.
And I've been noticing a lot that my assists are going through the fucking roof because of that. And I was like, wow, this is so smart because like if nobody ever chased, then we would all be just cleaning up each other's kills. And that whole don't chase thing, like just disengaging. Like if you look at somebody and they look at you and hit you right in the face, just run away. Don't even try.
Back out. Yeah. Yep. That's the thing I'm working on because what happens is, like I told you guys, I play a lot late at night after everybody's in bed here. And I get like a couple half hour or whatever myself. So like I'm tired and I'm not thinking. And that's one of the things that I think it was Swain Stash was talking about. He's like, I'm trying to force myself to go to bed and not play when I'm tired because I just have a tendency to push forward on the sticks and just keep running, die, respawn, just keep running. And it's like, I can't do that anymore because it's not that I really care about my KD or anything, but it sets me in a bad habit. It puts you in a negative loop, and it's like you got to reset that. So I've been actually working on that disengage and not chasing thing, and I'm doing better. Not great, but...
So harken back to the don't chase thing and the shotgun thing. They also made a comment that everyone wants to chase you. So if if you want to play fun with a shotgun, just tap somebody, or if they'll get the first shot on you, just run away, disengage, hide. They're gonna chase you, and just wait for the shotgun kill. And like I've been getting like crazy amounts of like just hitting people with a nade because like they're running up after you and you're just like, let me just throw a nade, incendiary nade into the corner. Got you. Now I'm gonna run in. You're already at half health. Like using your abilities to your advantage is something that I've always heard but had a hard time like thinking about. So like I don't know.
Yeah, that's why I play Striker. Is basically for the lightning nades because they're so useful.
Oh, okay.
So useful.
So good.
Speaking of lightning nades, I fucking got the worst lightning nade death. I was playing on my warlock, it hit me, and I'm used to playing my hunter, so I jumped up. Happens to be that there's a pillar behind me, so I'm the slow floof, seeing this thing shock, and I'm just like, it's gonna hit me, dead. Like that, just slow fall.
Yeah.
So, guys, that's a lot about Destiny 1. It was a fun time this week. I had a good time in Iron Banner. Let's talk about some Destiny 2 stuff. I want to talk about what guns we want to use as far as for your kinetic and energy slot.
But
potential
loadouts?
Yeah.
Okay.
But real quick, I wasn't here and I really want to answer this question. You guys were talking about what subclass we're going to play in D2. And I think that I'm going to play the best Titan subclass that there is and go with Dawnblade. Because the Dawnblade is 100% a Titan. It's got freaking Shade Step. It throws flaming weapons, hammers, and it's got the buffs from Ward of Dawn pretty much. So I'm like, if it looks like a Titan, smells like a Titan, might be a Titan.
It's not a Titan though. It wears a dress. It's a warlock. It wears a battle.
It doesn't wear Titan badass armor. But I think that I'm probably gonna start with Sentinel. But if I am like not super hot on Sentinel, I'm gonna go try out that Dawnblade. Ooh.
I was thinking about that. Like I said, I'm still gonna be a Titan main, but the stuff they did to the warlock definitely makes me more interested now. So I may end up playing a little bit more warlock than I would like secondary. I'm always main. And
so,
go ahead, Steve.
Oh no, finish what you're saying. I'll go next.
I was just gonna say I was thinking about Sentinel, because it's very like the way that they show it in the game, in the like quick teaser footage, it's very similar to the Gladiator class from Borderlands, the pre-sequel, Athena. And I played a ton of Borderlands as it is, but I played as Athena in that first, and I played a lot with Athena, and it's great because she's got a very similar thing. You throw up the shield, and as you're running, like, you can shoot around the shield. You can't be super accurate, unfortunately, but like you can shoot around the shield, and then when it gets to the end of that like protection shield, she throws it and it ping pongs off enemies and kills them. And I'm like, that could be super useful in both like strikes, PvP, raids. And I was like, I could probably do that. I think I might actually be a little bit more effective at that than I am with like the Defender now, or what the Striker is going to become, because the Striker is basically kind of like well, the Striker, I think the way they compared the movements to it is very, very similar to Sunbreaker right now. Because you can run around and slam things. You just don't have the range to like toss a projectile. I mean, if you don't count lightning nades, because let's be honest, those things are super ridiculous.
Yeah. People were like, "Oh, lightning nades aren't going to be as good in D2 because there's the delay." It's like, no, they're still going to be good. You can aim them.
They're gonna be better because I'm not gonna get hit with the first blast of it.
Yeah, dude, that's what I do. I do not to like get back into Destiny 1 PvP, but real quick, I noticed the thing that I do most is, especially with Striker, like it's meant for mobility for me. So I'm like booking around, Titan skating, shoulder charging people and whatever. And what I love to do is like go from cover when I see a group of people, and basically like skate as fast as I can, then jump up over them, especially if it's vertical space, like changing elevations, like a staircase or whatever. I'll get as fast as I can out of cover. I'll jump up and try to go over them, and then do like a bombing run. So I'll throw a grenade down in the middle of them. But the problem with the lightning nades is that they're instant, or at least I call it a problem now. They're instant. So a lot of times it's directly, and I lightning nade myself. So it's not helpful. But the great thing about that is I'll be able to do bombing runs in D2 PvP and not die to them.
Yep.
So with what we were talking about before, though, like what I'm interested to see is, all right, so every super is a roaming super now, right? And everything seems to be more smooth and streamlined. No one's talking about Voidwalker. You have 3 Nova Bombs? Come on. 3 Nova Bombs. They're already the easiest to get people with because you throw them, and you don't have to aim as much as you do with like a shadow shot or something.
Yeah.
So, and with that too, you still get the Ward of Dawn stuff. So like, I don't know, like Voidwalker is very intriguing to me in D2.
It's going to be cool. I mean, that, like, right now, Voidwalker is probably my favorite Warlock class to play. In both PvP and like PvE, just because it's so fun running around, and it's just like you see a group of people, you're like, hey, shitheads, guess what? Nova Bomb, and then the whole screen gets wiped.
It's Fist of Havoc on a stick.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. You like Fist of Havoc? Here it is on a stick. I can reach you with it now.
Yeah, I think Voidwalker is going to be very interesting. I don't know how they're going to handle that. I would assume nerfing the area of effect on Nova Bomb.
Yeah, because that's what they did with the Fist of Havoc.
Yeah, it sounds like they're just going to do that. But honestly, this is kind of bumming me out. I feel like I want like more changes. You know what I mean? Like, I feel bad because I'm like, oh, I found out that that Fist of Havoc's a roaming super. So now, if you tell me any of the other ones are roaming supers, I'm gonna be like, oh well, whatever.
They're all roaming.
Been
supers.
there, done that. I already know. So I want to see something really cool out of Voidwalker, and I want to see something super cool out of Pole Dancer, Arcstrider.
No one's been talking about Night Stalker either.
I don't think they're going to be in there.
The most utility.
We haven't talked about this, but I don't think the Taken King subclasses are coming back.
They got to come back.
No?
Not at launch is what I think.
Oh, not at launch. Yeah, well, I mean, that could be. Yeah, They could hold those back. I think if they're not in there at all, people are going to get real burned on it, because a lot of hunters I know, like, I think, who was talking about this? It was on another podcast this week. Somebody was talking about it. There's a shitload. Like, if you main a hunter, Night Stalker is like the class.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, but Golden Gun. It's like, no. Night Stalker is the class, because it's effective. Yeah, it's effective in PvP, but it's also super effective in PvE. Mm-hmm. You know, how many times have you been in a raid?
It's the only PvE class that people want you to play.
Yeah, I mean, everybody wants to go Nighthawk Gunslinger, but the thing is like 6 of them in a raid. It can be great, but raid bosses aren't. It's not like bullet.
It's not all raid It's not all raid bosses either.
Yeah, exactly. So it's one of those things where, just based on that alone, I don't think that they're gonna. I think they'll be back in. I don't know if it'll be at launch. That's actually a really good point, because I think a lot of people are going all or nothing. They're saying they're not going to be back at all. Or they're saying, like, yeah, we're definitely going to have, but nobody said, hey, what about this, in the middle option?
Yeah, and the other thing, too, is if they come back, here's my speculation. If they come back, I don't think they're going to be the same 3 classes. Just because Dawnblade and Sunbreaker are so fucking similar. Like, they just look like the same super. You know what I mean?
It basically is.
They're close.
Has the slam instead of a charge.
Like, they're close, but you know what I mean? It looks like the same thing. And so that's my only reasoning, that I'm like, if they do come back, I don't think that we're going to get the same ones. But I'm excited for what they're going to throw. Like, if I hope that they're all 3 different, because that would be fucking super cool. Give the Titan a tether-like ability instead of hunters, and then hunters will never be able to talk smack ever again. Beat him into the ground.
You just want everything to be taken away from the hunters, don't you?
Yeah. So sadly, okay.
You like take everything away from the hunters, give it to the warlocks and
Titans. This is like
quick D1
bullying his childhood crush.
Because I've been playing Golden Gun for the last like 3 weeks, and I played Warlock, and I was like, oh, I'm so used to Hunter Jump, and I about threw up. I was like, no, because I really like Golden Gun now.
It's fun.
That's one of the most gratifying super kills is the Golden Gun, especially when you're like pow pow, and you're like, ooh, get the chills when you get them double downs. Way the gun feels great.
I can't handle only being able to get 3 at most. I mean,
Keyhole.
You can get more.
Well, they're changing that in D2 actually.
Yeah. 6. I get it.
6 for 4-man team. Oh, whatever. But all right, let's talk about these guns. So it's probably not going to be a huge topic because we don't really know much about them. But as far as just ranges go, I think that there's like a couple of good pairings. Like, I think I might be going with the Pulse SMG.
Oh yeah.
And either that or like Scout hand cannon. Because especially like I was thinking about PvE, and I was like, especially with snipers being a thing that like aren't going to be readily available, I'm going to be looking for, and I think a lot of people are, that long range scout rifle with high impact. And we're just going to be like, it's kind of a sniper. And I think that's what's going to end up happening is people are going to be like, oh, the scout rifles are fucking so good.
Yeah.
And I think that
Chaos Dogma
SMGs in PvE, I also think are going to be super fun. Just like running around like, just going absolutely ape shit on ads. It'll be like, it's like running a shotgun in PvE where you're just like, yeah, it's fun. You just run and just whap people and just keep running. Try not to get blown up. So yeah, but I think I'm gonna go with Scout hand cannon or Pulse SMG just to balance out my ranges. What do you guys think? And obviously a fusion rifle because fusion is life.
I'm gonna go probably most often hand cannon in the primary slot.
The kinetic.
In the kinetic slot, and then switch between like a close range and a long range in the energy slot. So like a pulse or scout for if I need a long range, or I can switch to like an SMG or sidearm for up close. Just situational. If you're loading to strike and you're like, oh, this one's going to have more rangy stuff, so I'm going to throw on the scout. But I'm always going to have a hand cannon because that's the most mid-range gun. You can get things that are far if you need to. You can get things that are close if you need to.
I like that too. I didn't even think about where I would be keeping each, and I like the idea of keeping your scout in your energy slot because I don't want to be stuck with the most sniper-like scout in a like close quarters PvE thing or PvP. Just feel like shit. This sucks.
Yeah. I'm thinking the same thing, sort of. A lot of it's going to be situational, but what we know already, and it's hilarious because I've been dreaming up loadouts ready for D2. I'm like, oh man, primaries only. And then at the same time, I clicked. I'm like, that means I can finally do scout hand cannon. This is going to be great. So that'll probably be one. Everybody says scout sidearm, but honestly, I don't know how good the sidearms are going to be when you have the choice of a hand cannon and a sidearm. So that's probably, like, honestly, I don't even think it's going to be relevant in my situation because I hate sidearms as it is. Some people love them, I don't. So I'm probably going to run like scout hand cannon and then probably a pulse hand cannon. And there's definitely going to be the option of that, which I think I found my first favorite new exotic from what I've seen so far. It's the Sweet Business, which is the Suros Gatling gun that you can carry in your like primary kinetic slot.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely going to be running that at some point because I want to be like the fucking Terminator. And I'll probably run a hand cannon or something with that just because that's probably going to be like rapid fire, mid to short range. So you're going to want something a little longer range, high impact to balance it out. That's usually how I play. Like even right now in D1, I usually try to balance the long game and the short game between my primary and my special. So like, and this is just both in the Crucible and in
PvE.
Yeah, PvE raids and stuff. I'll usually run like a scout and then a shotgun or a fusion. I don't use shotguns as much in PvE. I use a lot of fusion rifles in PvE. So I'll run like a scout and then a fusion, or I'll run like if I'm running a hand cannon, I'll usually run a sniper in PvE. I've been using snipers more often, which is cool, but they're going to be that's the thing with the power weapon slot. They're putting all those together, so I'm probably not going to be using a lot of snipers and fusions and stuff. For heavies, I usually use rocket launchers, and if I'm not using a rocket launcher, or like in D1, the sleeper simulant, I'm using a sword. So for D2, it's definitely going to be a pairing of those couple kinetic and energy, and then it's always just going to be either a grenade launcher or a rocket or a sword for me, because that's just how I run. That's how I kind of use my builds.
Nice. I'll probably run sniper, honestly, most frequently. Sniper or sword, depending.
For me, it depends on how good they make the snipers. Because you guys, like I've said before, I'm not a good sniper. I've been practicing a little in PvE, and it's still super fun. I love it when I can get those nice snipes. But when you put that up against, like, especially in D1 for me, like when you put it up against something like, say, Gallahorn,
right.
I can't, if I got to choose between a sniper and my Gallahorn, I'm choosing Gallahorn because that thing tracks and it hits, like, you can just aim it in the general direction of whatever you're shooting at. And the second you hear the beep, you just fire and run away, and it just clears the entire room, basically.
Yeah. I just thought of this. You were talking about Gallahorn, and I was like, well, Gallahorn's probably not going to be in it. What about a new Gallahorn? And then I thought of it, like Gallarthorn.
Gross.
Wolfpack thorn rounds.
Please not.
Gross.
And it goes in your kinetic slot.
Hard pass.
The Gallarthorn. Yeah, I just thought of this, and I'm thinking about my gameplay from D1. I'm definitely in PvE going to go auto and scout because I'm an auto rifle person at heart for don't know. It just feels good to use a machine gun in any PvE thing.
Always.
Yeah, you're just like, yeah, fuck it, just shoot bullets. I'm shooting. I'm still shooting. And then probably Scout hand cannon, or I'm sorry, SMG hand cannon for PvP.
Do you guys think we're going to be able to dual wield SMGs?
I fucking hope so.
I've heard that as like a potential ability, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, I can't even imagine.
Where it's like a perk, maybe a secondary perk, an energy slot SMG has the perk of can be used simultaneously with a kinetic SMG.
I think that they're going to make it simpler than that. I think it's just going to be you get an SMG that's 2 SMGs. Like,
so you equip it and it's like
it's just always 2.
One gun, but it's a set of a gun. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Thorn Last Word, which is also going to be a dual wield. Calling it now.
God, that would be
Thorn
terrible.
Last Word.
Pow, 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 pow. You're fan firing with Thorn. Galler Thorn coming to D2. It's happening. I'm calling it all. All right, guys.
Here first.
Yeah, you heard it here first. Dual wielding the biggest secret story in Destiny. Hey, I've just looked at our master list of show notes, and dual wielding's on there. That's kind of cool. Well, so I've been thinking about this, and I was springing this stuff on you guys. We're gonna come back to this. I'll give you a second to think about it because I want to talk about something else too. We're gonna talk about our most underrated PS4 game. What you think is a game that's actually really good that nobody really talks about anymore. But we'll get back to that. First, we're going to go to video game news. And not normally, I wish I could drop a soundbite in here like beep, 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 video game news, whatever. So E3.
That was a soundbite.
Yeah, we're going to clip that. E3 is just around the corner starting on Tuesday. And with all this hype...
it's going on right now.
No, it's not.
The PlayStation, isn't the PlayStation press conference today?
Is it today? I thought it was.
I saw a schedule. It's happening now.
PlayStation press conference 2013 E3. We're doing it live on the show. We're looking this up.
2013.
So whatever. 2017 is.
Damn, bro.
I did click 2017.
You won.
I don't think that this is E3 streaming now. A complete E3 schedule can be found here. This is great radio, you guys.
Yeah, for sure. I'm telling you, it's today because there was stuff happening yesterday too.
No, it hasn't started. There's pre-E3 stuff going on, which is what I was going to talk about.
These are like E3 previews.
Yeah. Okay. So Tuesday, IGN live at E3 kickoff day 4. PlayStation's on Tuesday at noon.
Yeah, sweet.
Monday. Maybe it starts Monday. But I don't think it's going on right now. There's a lot of pre-show stuff. But EA had a pre-show yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And something that I'm super excited for is coming out. And it's a game called Anthem. So...
I keep hearing about that.
BioWare was like, Destiny did good. Let's make that. So that's apparently what Anthem is. And I'm super excited about it. I'm a huge Mass Effect fan, although admittedly Andromeda is not a good game. There's a million reasons why.
Bad, but it's not good.
Yeah, it's not good. So, but I am excited about this because I love BioWare, but I'm also concerned. And I know Steve and I were talking about this, I think last night or earlier today. And I just want to know how you guys feel about it with Andromeda being, in the critics' eyes, a fucking huge flop. How do you guys feel about this Anthem game?
It looks like, what all we saw really was like a dude, and then it's like post-apocalyptic kind of with a dinosaur. Was that a dinosaur?
Yeah, it looks like Destiny, like straight up.
It looks like Destiny. And that's what they're saying is it's supposed to be like Destiny, but BioWare. My only thing is I'm wondering is did BioWare just like not care about Mass Effect Andromeda because they were working on this in secret?
Yeah,
that's what I said to Ben.
That's the only hope that we have, I think, for this game.
Otherwise, it might not be good.
But if it is, welcome to our Patreon-only show, Barely an Anthem show. The show where we barely talk about Anthem.
Oh, by the way, I pulled it up. I figured it out. The press conferences are happening this weekend. The presentations are during the week.
Okay.
So Sony is tomorrow at 6 p.m.
See, I thought the same thing. I was like, oh, E3 is this weekend. We're going to talk about a huge E3 thing. Nope. All we got is Anthem. Star Wars Battlefront 2 is...
some of that looks amazing, by the way.
Is supposed to be in it.
Oh, yeah? Is there a campaign? That's what I want to know.
Well, Madden gets its first campaign.
Supposedly. Wait, what?
Madden has...
The football game?
Its first story mode is coming to Madden.
So it'll be like...
get it. I actually like Madden.
So it'll be like NBA 2K, but for football?
Yeah, probably.
Interesting.
What? I just read... I'm reading an article.
Hey, at least we're not. I'm not going to say.
I don't know. It's something about Need for Speed.
That's some people.
Need for Speed is apparently, it says, going full Fast and Furious. This is from TheVerge.com. I just want to make sure we cite our sources on this. And then EA announces a split-screen Prison Break game. Sounds fun. Let's play it. That's about all I heard.
That looks really cool, actually.
I have to watch it. It's called A Way Out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that sounds... Oh, it's split screen, too. Only play cooperative split screen.
So you can see the other player and what they're doing.
Is this couch co-op? Yeah, it's couch co-op.
Sounds like it.
Wow. That sounds fun.
Something a lot of the Xbox players are excited for is the Scorpio announcement and what it's going to be able to do.
That's actually what I'm interested about, too.
I mean, it's probably going to be better than the PS4 Pro, but it's not a next-gen console, so I don't know why they're putting so much into it.
It could be. Like, I feel like this is going to be a thing where eventually they're going to be like, all right, you're no longer going to be able to get it on Scorpio and Xbox One. It's just going to be Scorpio now.
Yeah.
Well, if it's made to handle 60 frames per second and 4K, like the game, then...
Well, no, and it's mostly the processor on those things.
Yeah. That's what I'm most interested about as far as consoles go, because I think if Scorpio is going to be as powerful and as big as a lot of sources, both inside the Destiny community and outside, like the general chatter I've heard about it, and again, I don't really pay too much attention to things other than Destiny. I think if the general chatter and general like consensus, if any of that hype is true, I think we could be looking at something that could be a next gen console or could potentially like set the framework or the benchmark. Like basically it's a preview of something that could happen like to the next versions of PS4 and Xbox or PlayStation and Xbox, so it's one of those things where like I'm kind of interested because it could be a forecasting type thing, it could be
it feels like a soft release of a console.
Yeah, like if this is Xbox 1.5.
Yes, exactly.
Then what's Xbox 2?
Yeah,
because who knows what that's going to be? Xbox Universe, Xbox on my shelf. Like what are they going to call it? But
Xbox on my shelf. That's definitely what they're going to call it. Did you get your new Xbox on my shelf? Wait, my Xbox is on your shelf? No, it's what it's called.
But yeah, that's the thing with like PS4 Pro. Everybody was talking about it, and I'm just like, I just want a game that can run Destiny, a game console that can run Destiny, Destiny 2, and like, Borderlands, the like 3 games that I actually pay attention to and play, and anything that might look cool coming out in the future. And then they came out at the D2 reveal, and they're like, yeah, it can't run 60 FPS because the processor isn't powerful. Is that right?
I'm sorry, what was that? No, I legitimately think that. I think that it just looks too good for it to be able to run in 60.
Knowing what little bit I do about hardware stuff, I think you're right on that, Ben. I think they programmed so much crap into the game with Destiny 2, they put it to 60 FPS, or they tried it on 60 FPS, and it was just breaking things. So they dialed it back to 30, and they're like, okay, it plays perfectly at 30. We just have all this other stuff that's
Give me
going.
54 FPS.
Give me 54. So I think they're right about that, because PlayStation keeps saying like, oh, this isn't a next gen PlayStation. It's more. It could just, like, their big thing is, oh, it can handle a 4K TV.
Yeah,
or
it's
something.
just, hey, we know
It's
PlayStation
4K
came out before 4K was popular, so if you want a 4K PlayStation, we got them.
Right.
That's pretty much all I heard out of that.
I mean, this is all I really care about from E3 right now, because I haven't heard anything else. Is there going to be a PS4 Pro Destiny 2 bundle?
I would love that, and I think we have a good chance of hearing about that.
I think so.
I'm going to get one if they have it.
So, guys, speaking of PS4, let's talk about some games. I was thinking about this the other day. I was listening to some podcast, and they're just talking about some random PS4 game, and I was like, you know what? That game was fucking fun. I don't remember what it is, but it got me thinking, what are games that, like, I've had my PS4 for a long time, and I'm just like, man, there are so many games that I played that are so good. And I've tried to boil it down to one, and my one game is Infamous Second Son. I don't know if either of you guys played it.
Nope.
Never heard of it.
God damn it, you guys. Okay, so Infamous is a series that PlayStation has had for a while. It's an exclusive PlayStation series.
I know about Infamous, like I'm aware of it, but my PlayStation's first birthday was yesterday, and I know that's because I had to re-up on PS Plus.
Infamous came out in March of 2014, so it's about 3 years old now. I don't know, man. You just run around with this dude with fucking superpowers, and it's fun as shit. And they have a really cool mechanic. Oh, I have my PlayStation controller, where you have to spray paint stuff. So you take your controller and you hold it by the back like this, and your finger over the trigger, so it looks like this. And you have to turn it this way and spray paint. And like you get to like shake the cannon and stuff like that. It's super cool.
That's brilliant.
And I don't know. It was just a really, really fun game that I feel like people played and forgot about. And if you really think about it, it's one of those games that you, like, once you play it, a couple years later, you're going to be like, I really do want to go back and play that again. Even if you just do it for a day and don't even finish it. But you guys got any games like that? I guess it doesn't have to be a PS4 game, but something that you're like, I'd like to go replay that. That was a good game that nobody really thinks about anymore. This is why I told you guys early. As in,
but
10 minutes ago.
Take it from PS4, that, like, removing that stipulation, that changes some stuff. Now I'm trying to think if there's anything, because I have one in mind, but
what's one you had in mind?
Okay, so there was this game on PS3. Again, didn't have a PS3, but my buddy Gray Fox did, and we worked at FedEx late nights. So after work, we'd go to his house and eat pizza and play video games until the sun came up. Being that we were both like late teens, early 20s, and didn't really have wife, kids, didn't have too much of a
I've been there.
responsibility type thing, you know. So we just play games till the sun came up, and it was fun because there was this one game, and I want to say we played through it in one night. Like, we got done with work at 12:30 or 1. It was an early night, and we played until like 7 o'clock in the morning or something. The name of the game was Hard Rain, I want to say.
Okay.
And it was one of those games where it's like a story, and you have to go through and press it's kind of like Telltale games, if you guys are familiar with those. You go through and like talk to people, and it gives you the four choices. Heavy Rain, that's it, yeah. That game was fantastic. It played like a movie. And I remember it getting really good reviews when I looked it up, but nobody was really talking about it. Like, people that I knew and stuff, they're just kind of like, you know, it didn't like hit a big thing.
It got a 9 out of 10 on IGN and a 78% on Metacritic. That's pretty good.
It's fantastic. And I mean, I don't know if there's a PS4 version, but if it's one of those things where you guys are into like Telltale games, I would 100% recommend going and getting it. The premise is basically like there's been these kidnappings and murders of children. And there's like 4 main characters in the game. The one of them, it's like he's got a son, and he's I think he's a writer or something. And so his son disappears, and is like, they're worried about like his kid could potentially be one of the next victims. There is a detective or like a cop who may or may not be crooked.
I'm looking at him right now.
There's like
he looks crooked.
Yeah, there's like a private investigator, or there's like a female lead, and I forget what she does, but she's like a part of the story too. And then there's like a 4th person who is like I want to say the 4th person is the 4th main character is like bad, or you think they're bad. And so you play through the game, and there's like 4 or 5 different endings. And when you get to the ending, it's like, because you can save different characters, or your responses to questions matter more heavily, so and it's not like a game like Borderlands or Destiny or something like that I'm used to, where it's like you can be a total fucking give the dickhead responses like when you're asking questions, and then when it comes to like react to that, it drops into a combat sequence, and you can either run or shoot the person. This is like, if you give the wrong answers, your character, whoever you're playing as in that point, will die. And it was like a stupid low percentage of completion. I remember reading about the game where people were managed to save all 4 of the main characters. Like, there's some of them where like the dad dies, and then there's other ones where like the detective dies, and then there's another ending where like the kid dies because you don't save him in time or something like that. And then there's like other ones where like the woman, the female lead, ends up dying. So it goes back and forth. And then there's ones where like you can save them all, and then there's ones where like multiple characters can die. So like 2 can die, but 2 get saved, or 3 end up dying, and 1. So it's like a crazy game, and your answers to the questions and like the things that you do in your like investigation, as you're like walking around the various. Oh no, you know what? The 4th character was not a. The 4th character is an FBI agent, or something like similar to the FBI. It's set in the near future because he's got these glasses that you put on. And if you've ever played Batman, Arkham Knight, it's similar to the X-ray, like the Batman night vision stuff. Like he puts it on and it highlights stuff. So that was the 4th character. He wasn't a bad guy. The bad guy's in the story, but yeah, it was like a really amazing game, and it played like a movie. It was one of those ones where we sat down and just played through it the whole night. Yeah. Before something's coming up. So I think it got really good reviews, but I don't think a lot of people played it. So that's my choice. I'm going with that one.
Oh, it is available on PS4. I checked.
Nice. Yeah, that's a good one.
Mass Effect 2 had a similar thing where your choices determined who dies and who doesn't.
Yeah, that was really cool because I had a bunch of different endings for that game.
That's probably the most fun part of Mass Effect. The whole series was the ending mission in Mass Effect 2.
Yeah.
I want to say.
It was nice and long. It felt like playing a strike in Destiny.
Yeah.
Like a long strike. So Crota.
Crota.
Right.
All right, what's yours?
Man. For me, if I have to say PS4, only having a PS4 for a year, it's Uncharted 4. I don't feel like it really gets talked about a lot, but like it was a really good game.
I was thinking about that too because like I mean, it was hot when it first came out, and then, it doesn't have much longevity, but, like, that game is fantastic.
Yeah. When you see someone on playing it, you're like, oh, hell yeah, okay.
Yeah, you're like, I won't bother you. That's totally a worthwhile thing to do.
Yeah. But something from the 360 PS3 era that I played the shit out of and is just kind of completely disappeared that I wish would come back so I could get a fresh version and fresh controller for it. Guitar Hero.
No, they have Guitar Hero Live for PS4.
Really?
Yeah. Guitar Hero Live. See, I like this. We're finding things out together. Yeah, it was released on October 20th, 2015. 2015. Yeah, shut up. It's only $50 actually. The I was at Toys R Us the other day, and there's like, I think the $50 one comes with the guitar. Don't quote me on that. But actually, let's just hit the shopping button. I love Google. Yeah, Supreme Party Edition. It looks like it comes with 2 guitars. It says $50. That sounds wrong, but maybe. I think it just didn't go over well. You know what I mean?
It was a trend. I think it was like Tony Hawk, where everybody was like hard on skateboarding, and they're like, "Yeah, Tony Hawk," and then they stopped doing that.
And then Skate came out.
Yeah,
and everyone was like, "I don't care," and I was like, "But please, more Skate."
Yeah. And then it was the same thing with Guitar Hero.
Supposed to be coming?
No.
3? No.
Skate 3 is out. It's been out for a long time.
4 then.
But Skate 4, unfortunately, seems to be a pipe dream. There is a skateboarding game in development, because I looked this up a little while ago. I don't remember what it's called, but I think it's called like Sessions or something like that.
Yes, I've heard about that.
Session skate game. Yeah, but it's supposed to be coming out. Project Session. That's what it's called.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much the spiritual successor to Skate, is what they're saying.
Okay.
But it's still, Skate is such a goddamn good game. Like,
I never actually played it.
It's really, it's like difficult to get into it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it takes a minute.
4 skaters.
Yeah, but like the controllers are so intuitive that like if you know how a skateboarding trick works, it just is that easy to do it in the game, because the way it controls is the right stick is your foot motion. So like if you sweep the bottom, it's going to do a pop shove it motion. If you flick to one of the corners, it's going to do a kick flip or a heel flip. So all you have to do is combine what direction you sweep and where you flick. So like you can like do all sorts of like crazy moves, and it's just like if you do a wider sweep, it's a 360. If you do a shallower one, it's a 180. Like as far as the board spinning. So you're like, yeah, and then you hold down on the stick and snap it forward to ollie, or you hold forward on the stick and snap it back to nollie. It's
That's interesting.
Super, super intuitive. So like,
yeah,
or it's not intuitive, but like it is once you know how to control it. It takes a while, because the biggest problem is you have to like actually crouch down and hold it for a second before you can get a nice crispy ollie. And if you do kind of a shitty flick, they're not going to ollie as high. So like you have to be good with like your controls to make them do good stuff.
So it's truer to real life is what you're saying.
Yeah, like if you just like real quick pull it back and flick it, he's just going to kind of hoop and do like a tiny little hop.
That's interesting, because it's funny, we were talking about Guitar Hero before. There was actually a game on 360 and PS3, and I'm not sure if they brought it forward. Right about the same time Guitar Hero came out and Rock Band was big on Xbox, that they put out, and it was like basically a teach me guitar game. So you get this controller,
Rocksmith,
and yes, that's what it was. And like apparently nobody wanted to play that because
it's too hard.
Yeah, I just like people used to try and get me to play Guitar Hero, and like I was like, fuck that. They're like, what do you mean? You play guitar? I'm like, yeah, I play actual guitar.
And Guitar Hero is hard too. Different skills.
I'm like, I have no desire to pick up like a fake guitar and play like it's just not. It's not my thing. You know?
I love that
like,
shit.
I was like, if I want to like put time into playing guitar, I'm going to go plug into my amp and play. I was like, I don't want to do that. And so people, like friends and stuff are like, when do you ever want to play it? I'm like, it's not my thing. I don't feel like it. So that's interesting that, because I almost wonder if that's the reason that like Skate maybe, and, Rocksmith didn't become like huge, was because it was too hard. People are just like, oh, this requires real life things. Fuck that.
Well, right. Skate is, it's not the hardest thing in the world, but
you still have to know how the physics of it work. I mean, that's why.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's just easier if you know skateboarding. Then you're like, oh, okay, like this makes sense. If you don't know skateboarding, you're just gonna have to learn it like you did Tony Hawk. You know what I mean? I
gotta say though, like actual physics, like game physics that sort of echo real life are like something I love. Like similar concept, Forza 4, if you guys have ever played it. Forza 4 on the 360, there's a bunch of stuff you can do to your car and your tune-ups. You can adjust different like gearing, tire pressure depending on the race, and you can save these loadouts as long as you like unlock the cash to purchase the parts. So there was one where I had where like, you know, because I'm a gearhead, I geared it super, like basically for like a circle track or a like not drag racing because that requires a little bit deeper gears. But I was loving it. And people are just like, "Why the fuck are you doing? Like, why are you getting into all this?" They're like, "You just buy all the, you know, we just buy all the parts, like unlock all the nodes and do all the things and go." And I'm like, "Yeah, but you're not." Like, this is going to give you an edge. They're like, you play against the computer. Who gives a shit? I'm like, valid point, but I'm enjoying myself. Leave me alone.
Right.
Yeah. By the way, you can buy Skate 3 on Xbox 360 for $20 just on their store. Solid buy. I actually own all three of them, and I just play the three different ones just because the maps are slightly different. Skate 1's a little hard to play now, but 2 and 3 are both primo. Yeah. So I think that'll about wrap us up today, guys. We did absolutely no housekeeping at the top of the show. So let's go ahead and get into that.
Too excited to be back.
Oh, I was so excited. So we are Barely a Destiny Show. We're on twitch.tv/DetBenMalone. You can find our videos by searching Barely a Destiny Show on YouTube or searching DetBenMalone. And you might find my rap music playlist. It's got a lot of Young Jeezy on it. It's from a long time ago. We are going to be doing a clan for Destiny 2. That's a thing. If you want to join it, send us a message or a tweet or whatever. Get a hold of us. I've got a list of people that are going to get the initial invites. But if you want to join, just let me know, and you'll get one of those invites when Destiny 2 comes out. Hey, Dat Mexican 91. He's in chat.
We got a new viewer. Hi.
Live shout out. Hey, I wish I edited these sometimes.
Right.
Fantasy Football League.
Yes.
Is also a thing that we're going to be doing. So if you want to be in that, let us know, preferably by email. And you can send emails to barelyadestinyshow@gmail.com. Ooh, see how I wrap that one in? Mixing them in. Be better if I didn't talk about it. Other than that, do you guys have any housekeeping stuff?
No, just like really excited for this clan. Actually, like I think it'll be a whole lot of fun. So we've been getting some hype about it with some people that we've been playing with that have been hitting us up. Which, by the way, keep hitting us up to play. Like that's been so much fun. Mm-hmm. So yeah, and as many people as we can get in the clan, the better. The more fun we'll all have. So yeah, excited about the clan. Yeah,
the clan stuff should be awesome. We're also starting a soccer league for Destiny 2. I'm just kidding. We should, though. That'd be fun. We'll have some soccer games. But other than that, I'm your host. Oh, what music are we going to play today? I think... What have we not played in a while? What have we not played? We haven't played secret stuff in a while. I did reach out to some bands to ask them if we could play their music, so that way we can show you guys more music. But I want to make sure we're not playing people's music without asking them.
Right.
That's the biggest thing for me. So, I want to make sure one of these is buy now. Okay, I don't want to play music that costs money. You got to buy it to listen to that stuff. Yeah, we're gonna play some secret stuff tonight. You can find me on Twitter at DetBenMalone. That's DetBenMalone. It stands for detective. I had a whole thing where like nobody realizes that, and I've been second guessing whether DET is the abbreviation for detective.
It is.
Yeah. You guys are making me second guess myself. I don't like it. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter and YouTube at DetBenMalone. Steve, where can people find you?
All across the internet, everywhere. It's the same. Xanafan 711. ZANIFAN 711. So, and I'm only 12 followers away on Twitch from 50, which is what you need to get affiliate. So,
ooh.
Please,
go
shameless plug here.
Subscribe.
Yeah, go hit that button for me. I'd appreciate it a lot.
Yeah. This guy over here. Listen to him. Scott, where can people find you?
Slapshot Scott, the O's are zeros. Twitch, Twitter. One of these days I'll get my videos I have on my other channel that's linked to my Google email address uploaded to my my YouTube. Watch me stream and play like garbage and say dumb things on Twitter. I've been on there for 4 months. I still have no idea how to Twitter.
You know your Twitter's private, right?
Is it really?
Yeah. You have a private Twitter account, so like when you guys said that Scott tweeted out that you guys are going live that one week, I was like, no one saw that.
That explains a lot. See, I told you. I'm like 3 months into it, and I still have no idea how Twitter works. What I'm trying to do is make it so people can't search me, because that pisses me off when somebody I'll tweet about a hockey game being bullshit, or I'll tweet something about Destiny or whatever, and then people are just like, oh, and you get 1,500 comments on it, and just you know what? I don't care. Everybody shut the fuck up.
Dude, get the 1,500. People will be like, oh, he's on Barely ADS, 1,500 comments. Subscribe, baby. Leave us a review on iTunes.
Usually, Ben, when that happens, it's bad things. I say something dumb and people are mad at me for it. So you don't want that kind of publicity.
Yeah, but it's funny. It's funny though, right?
I don't care if you look bad.
You're like,
oh man. All right, guys. Oh, I'm sad the show's coming to an end. It was fun. Next week we might have a special surprise. I'm not going to say what it is because you guys notice things tend to fall through on this podcast life. So I'm not going to say what it is in case it falls through, but we might have some awesome stuff coming up for you guys. We got some cool things in the future. All right. Yeah. Until next week, be the light you wish to see in others. You guys going to say bye?
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
Just waste all of your time with your blood partner in crime. Tell me about the boys you kissed and all the chances that I missed. I can't say that I'm impressed, 'cause this is not you at your best. Suffered through bad Chinese food just for a chance to talk to you. But now I know just who you are. It's a shame we let things get this far. So tell me about the girls you kissed and all the chances that I missed. Well, I can't say that I'm impressed, 'cause this is not you at your best. And we'll get dinner turns on in your own fucking mouth. About the way that things could have been if you hadn't cheated on me then. Wondering where they ended up. Am I the only one who feels like a failure? Progressing in your careers while I'm digressing through my years. Am I the only one who doesn't seem older? And I will try to leave this all behind. But for now I'll just keep reminiscing. Staring at the signatures you signed my card. Great summer. I hope you make it all the way through college. You got your master's, I lost my job. You make six figures and I'm a slob who still thinks he can make it in a band. And I will try to leave this all behind. But for now I'll just keep reminiscing. Running out of time, I think it's time I see things differently. Am I in charge of my own destiny? Sick of lamenting over things that I can't change. And after all, it's just a stupid yearbook.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening to Barely a Destiny Show, episode 19. Hope to see you next week at 2 p.m. Eastern. Goodbye.